Well, I mean, I could really sort of wax on about the nature of money for hours because I played a significant role in creating PayPal.
Right.
And so my understanding of the money system at a fundamental level of how it actually works, the detailed mechanics of it, is, I think, there are very few people that understand it better than me. Bitcoin is an interesting example, obviously the prime mover on this, but the transaction volume of Bitcoin is low,
Yeah.
and the cost per transaction is high. It is, at least at its base level, suitable for maybe an exchange, a store of value. But fundamentally, Bitcoin is not a good substitute for transactional currency.
Right.
And even though it was created as a silly joke, Dogecoin is better suited for transactions.
Why is that?
The total transaction flow that you can do with Dogecoin is substantially more than, like, transactions per day is much higher than, has much higher potential than Bitcoin. It is slightly inflationary, but that inflationary number is a fixed number as opposed to a percentage.
Right.
So that means over time, its percentage inflation actually decreases. And that's actually good because it encourages people to spend and rather than sort of hoard it as a store of value.
Hey everybody, Kriss here. Welcome on a Wednesday. How's everybody doing? We're going to be talking a little bit about the differences between Dogecoin and Bitcoin. And I mean, if you're holding Dogecoin now, do you sell it and buy a bunch of Bitcoin? If you're holding Bitcoin, do you sell it and buy a bunch of Doge? Or you've got cash on the side and you're waiting to buy in and you're trying to think about, well, should I put it into Doge or maybe buy some Bitcoin? So we're going to talk about that, cover some other things in the news, what's going on in the markets. Hope everyone is doing well. That was Elon Musk, of course. And Elon in the intro from a couple years ago. Bitcoin store of value, Doge for everyday transactions. When Elon says things, he normally follows up. I know sometimes it takes a little time. Some of you are frustrated. It's like, come on, let's go. But that's how Elon works. That's how Elon works. So, yep, a lot to talk about. Also going to rail on the banks again because I like to do that. That's what I do. That's why I like cryptocurrency as well, because the banks and the governments, taxes, all of that. So we got a lot to cover. Hope everyone's doing well. Look at the markets. 15.27 for Doge, down a little bit further from my video at noon today. Yeah, Bitcoin down. Just trying to hold on to 64K here. So this was the halving. This blue vertical line was the halving. You know, Bitcoin traded up through the halving. Looked like we were on our way up to 67K, but past 2 days have been down. So what's going on with that? Why is Bitcoin going down? I said there would be choppiness, right? Live on Monday, we said choppiness. We're going to have choppiness up and down. It's not just going to be a straight run up, but overall, the outlook is going to be positive. And that's the way I continue to look at things overall in the market. Red for the most part. Hedera, of course, now is off the green list because of its big run yesterday. Now it's 24 hours later. It's in the red, but Bonk and Algorand are still the big gainers over the past 24 hours. So, and I hold both of those. So I feel pretty good about that. Although I'm not good about everything else being in the red because I got a lot of these others as well, including Doge, which is down 4.5% here over the last 24 hours. But not as bad as some of these others that are dropping a little more. But it's the markets, right? They go up, they go down. You got to be able to live with that. What's the big picture? Hey, here's the big picture. We're talking about total 2, which is all crypto except Bitcoin. but we compare it at the Bitcoin halving marks in the past. So there are 4 phases for altcoins, 4 phases: accumulation, the first leg up, then the chop, right? What as I said, right? Choppiness, and then up only. And it has happened the previous 2 halvings. So we look back right here, right above me, right there. Accumulation, 2015, 2016. You get the first leg up right into the halving. And then what do you have? Chop. You have chop. Chop following the halving. And then boom, up. That's the first one. Let's look at it again. 2019 into 2020, accumulation. Now, this isn't looking at the Bitcoin price. This is looking at altcoins, okay? This is altcoins now. Normally, I show this with Bitcoin, but this is altcoins. Accumulation, you have your first leg up, Bitcoin halving, and you got some chop. Chop was, 2020, again, the first leg up was kind of halted a bit by, that C19 fear, right? Middle of March, the whole world shut down. So there was some fear in the market there, big selling, recovered up, but then was chop after the halving. There was a little bit of a dip there. And then what happened? Altcoins, 2021, boom, up. So what did we just have? 2022 into most of 2023 till about middle of October, accumulation. What were we doing? I was buying Hedera at 0.0469. I was buying Jasmy at 0.0036, right? And a number of other altcoins, because at that time, since Bitcoin had already gone on a run in early 2023, I'm buying more alts, including Doge at 5.8 cents. I was accumulating there. We were also accumulating into our Kriss Pax DCA portfolio. So we've got Doge at 6.1. We've got Jasmy at 0.0036. Our Bitcoin that we bought there was at 26.9, but we still had a decent profit on that. Render, we bought at $1.45. She, we bought at 0.000083. So we had good prices there. Even the Algorand we got was 10-cent Algorand. And now Algorand's up over 21 cents. So that was the accumulation. First leg up was from middle of October 2023 into the halving. Altcoins did pretty well, actually up through March, right? First part of April was kind of a bummer there. And now what are we going to have? This is what I was saying. This is what we were saying Monday night. Chop. There's going to be chop. I think there's going to be some upward movement in that chop for some reasons I'm going to show you. But there's going to be chop, and then we're going to have the up only. This is what's coming, guys. This is what's coming. Again, it's happened. The cycles happen. I am betting on it happening again. Is that guaranteed? No, not guaranteed. But that's what I traded. So it's choppiness. AWOL says, seems like we have a little dip. There's always going to be dips. There's always going to be dips. But the trend is going to be up. We're going to have choppiness. In that choppiness we have coming forward, you have to identify the dips, be ready to buy on the dips if you're still accumulating, because you didn't accumulate back here last summer. If you guys weren't here with me when I was accumulating, right? Because I was identifying that all last summer. And you can go and you can look at my old videos on my channel. I was like, guys, this is wealth building opportunity. Last summer, I was saying that. Some of you were here. And then we were buying this crypto because I was so convinced that I said, okay, I'll take $10,000 of my money, put it into a new portfolio, and we'll buy some crypto together, half of it being Dogecoin. of which we're going to make money. We're going to make money, and we're up 150%. That $10,000 has now turned into almost $25,000. In March, it was up to $30,000. But again, first part of April Fools, we had a dump, and then we had that Iran-Israel thing, that fear in the market, right? Had those drops. It'll come back. It'll come back. I'm confident of that. But that's when we were accumulating. But that doesn't mean you still can't find good deals now in dips. Dips are still going to happen. Right now, I've got support set at 14 cents. This is this blue line here, 14 cents. We've touched on it a couple times here in April. We're now at 15.1. I would prefer, personally, if it stays above 15 cents and it turns around, it goes back up and the chop goes the other direction. But I know some of you are waiting to buy some more. So maybe a quick dip, buy, and then get back up. That would be great. But the trend in the long term is going to be this. We've seen it the past two cycles. Looking at it again. If you pay attention to the chart, Mag says, the first three phases typically progress slowly and can be somewhat boring at times. But the real profits are made by positioning oneself in these initial phases. Impatient individuals who chase after red and green candles are likely to get caught out during the first three phases. In the final phase, crypto dominates the news, attracting new money. Both Bitcoin and altcoins reach new all-time highs. This is when smart money and early buyers start unloading their holdings, while retail investors believe the rally will continue indefinitely. So that's what we're going to be trading right there. We're going to be trading that because we've been accumulating up to now. Now we got to live through the choppiness, maybe buy some more on the dips, and then look out. Look out for the parabolic run that is inevitably going to happen. Will Dogecoin reach $1? Will Dogecoin reach $1? That's the big Dogecoin question. And I know some of you are like, I am not touching my Dogecoin until Dogecoin's over $1. Yeah, we don't know. We don't know if Doge is going to make $1 or not. I would just love to say, of course, guaranteed, confirmed, Dogecoin's going to be $1. I can't say that. And you guys follow me, you watch me, because I give you a more realistic outlook. And I can't say that for sure. And anybody who does is just lying because they don't know. Nobody knows what's going to happen. So we're going to talk about layering out later on. It's not time for that yet. Layering out, selling. It's not time to have those discussions yet. Don't ask me. Don't ask me what the all-time high is going to be next. I don't know, and nobody knows. But we can use our strategies to figure out when the best time is going to be to start taking profits. And we'll be doing that together. But right now, as we're sitting here, we've got this whole kind of Dogecoin, Bitcoin thing going on. Got a lot of institutions buying into Bitcoin right now. Institutions aren't buying Doge. But Doge is the world of FOMO, right? When Doge starts running, look out. And we've shown that on the charts as well. That does happen. Analyst says Dogecoin will outperform Bitcoin this cycle. So I'm not the only one saying this, because you guys have heard me say this for the last 6 months. I've been saying Dogecoin is going to outperform Bitcoin. Bitcoin already went on an early run in this bull cycle back in 2023. You could have bought 8-cent Dogecoin just 2 months ago. You're not going to get an opportunity to get 8-cent Dogecoin again. Will it drop to 12 cents? Oh, we don't know. But from here going forward, what's going to happen? And I'm saying Dogecoin's not going to outperform Bitcoin. But I'm not the only one who's saying it. Kevin, we talked about Kevin this morning. Kevin's got this outlook of this chart, which is the Doge BTC trading pair. And he's put some lines in here, some Fibonacci lines, and we're in the golden pocket right there. We're in the lower part of the golden pocket there at about 0.00024. We've been up to over 30 here. This is 24. And what Kevin says is if we take a close look at the Dogecoin versus BTC chart, we're currently consolidating in the golden pocket while sitting above all bull market up trend lines. We're above all the bull market trend lines here. This is a very good sign if we can hold it in terms of seeing Doge outperforming Bitcoin from here on out. Send this dog higher soon. So that's what Kevin's looking at. Look out. Doge outperforming Bitcoin. This was Ali's chart. Again, this chart goes back. He initially started working on this chart in 2023. Posted this in February of 2024 when Doge was at 8.4 cents. 8.4 cents. This was Ali's chart. And I showed this back in February. We looked at it again in March, but I'm bringing it back up again. Just to remind ourselves the power of Dogecoin and what can happen when Dogecoin runs. We saw it back in 2020. Doge went through an accumulation period coming out of a descending triangle, which was the bear. Here we had the bear again, 2021 all the way into 2023. Accumulation period in 2023, and I would say up until October of 2023, because then Doge went on a little run, retraced a bit into 2024, but that's where we were. And what Ali was saying is the time is, look, this is a pattern we had back in 2020 into 2021, and here we are, 2023 into 2024, and this is the fractal that can happen coming out of that. You can see Doge go on a run. He was looking at like 25 to 30 cents, retracing down and then coming back up. Well, look what we've done. We actually ran up to 22 cents already. The retrace is coming back down now to 15 cents. But could there be a next leg up that's even higher? Or is this whole fractal actually going to be suppressed a bit? Interesting. Another Ali chart. This, again, was back in, when was this one? This one was the earlier one. Yeah, this was the one that was back in October, when Doge was about to break out in October, because it was still at 6.9. It had risen up from 5.8 to 6.9. But this is when he first put this whole fractal on here, and he had, again, a first run up and then a second run up. He changed it a bit since then, but that's the power that Dogecoin has. And here's a Tesla Model Doge's overlay over an Ali chart here, just looking at it in a different way, doing 3 periods of accumulation, 3 periods of accumulation. Again, back 2016, we had choppiness, right? Accumulation. Again, 2019 to 2020, choppiness, accumulation. And here's what we had, 2022 through 2023 and into early 2024, same thing. What came out of the previous 2 accumulation periods? A run on Doge, a run on Doge. What could be next? So before we get into the whole Bitcoin, Dogecoin analysis thing, talking about what the differences are, because we did play it in the intro. If you missed the beginning, you can watch the beginning after the live stream where I gave you Elon's view of Bitcoin versus Dogecoin. Because Elon said it a couple years ago in an interview. He talked about Bitcoin versus Dogecoin. So you can rewatch that. And then we'll get into my take on it in just a minute. So let me check in on the chat here. What's going on? Ryan, how are you? Yes, you got a new color on your check mark. You're nice and purple now. Been here a while. Joe, how are you? Matt, Doge integration for X payments, Tesla, Shopify, all going to be big. Something tells me that the upward trend is going to continue because other tech giants will be competing. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when all of that happens, who's going to jump on the bandwagon. Because we saw it in 2021. You remember like Slim Jim and Newegg and like all of and even AMC, right? Having fun with Doge. We're going to see that again, but it could be bigger this time because now it's more than just a rumor or hope, but it would be actual integration, actual use. That can happen. That can happen. The age of fiat is over. The time for Doge has come. Well, I don't know if that was exactly Tolkien or not, but yeah, Ryan, the banks, F the banks. So you know that, the SEC, right, is doing all of this legal action against crypto exchanges and crypto projects where they can, like Ripple. Most crypto they can't. I mean, SEC can't sue Dogecoin, right? It's a decentralized blockchain. There's no company, right? There's nothing to sue. So Dogecoin is safe, right? Totally decentralized. But the SEC is going after all of these legal actions on crypto. But as Vivek says, since 2000, regulators have fined banks 7,400 times, totaling fines of $380 billion. But why has no banker been arrested so far? I mean, look at this. Bank of America has had 319 charges against it and has paid penalties of over $87 billion. $87 billion. What is Bank of America doing that requires them to pay $87 billion in penalties? Or JP Morgan Chase paying $39 billion. Wells Fargo, $27 billion. Citigroup, $26 billion. Deutsche Bank, $20 billion. Goldman Sachs, $17 billion. Morgan Stanley, even $10 billion. BNP Paribas, supposed to be like legitimate, right? $10 billion in penalties. The banks don't follow rules, but they don't go to jail. And then when they have problems, they get bailed out. It's like, what's up with that? Banks. Don't get me started. Kevin's been waiting 4 years already. Well, we're in that cycle now. It's a bull market cycle in our 4 years. So we are there. 1 year to go to see the real huge profits after the waiting. Ryan says, yeah, based off nothing, I do feel we will dip a little further. Yeah, there's some uncertainty in the markets. There certainly is some uncertainty in the markets. There's going to be an FOMC next week. They're not going to raise rates. They're not going to drop rates. It's still going to be the same. They're going to be looking to see what Jerome Powell says. Does he sound hawkish? Does he sound dovish? It's going to be the same thing again. Markets will react. You know what's going to happen already. It can be no different. Oh, your check mark will change colors again, Ryan. I've got it all set up. I've got it all set up. Eventually, you're going to be silver, and then you're going to be gold. And once you have that gold check mark, you're good. Jason reminds everyone to hit the like button. Thank you for the reminder. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. We're just, hanging out. Joe Choi says, look, 10 million Doge. 10 million Doge. Wait until 2025 to take profits. Not a bad strategy. Although, again, come fall, we'll be talking about layering out, taking some profits along the way, and maybe not selling all of your Doge, Jay. I don't know if you want to do that. Maybe you want to keep some of it because you never know what's going to happen. Toss bought some more Algorand today. Brought your overall average down. Algorand had a long bear market, that's for sure. But overall, Algo had a nice pump. Had a big pump. Yeah, retraced half of it back down from the big candle here on the daily. But from this dipping back down here at 16 cents, 21, 22 cents is much better. Of course, we had this big green candle for Hedera that I talked about in my video this morning. Craziness. Hedera is still a great project, great blockchain. It's going to do well. But that craziness there, that was really something. Ryan's going to hold one Doge until 2050. Yeah, we'll talk about exit strategies later. Too early for that, Poker. Well, Kuan, if you've got 10,000 Doge, that's what you have now. And then you've got to decide how much cash you have sitting in your bank, sitting on the sidelines, waiting to invest more. And you pick up what you can on the dips. That's what you do. Like Jay says, DCA is the way to go. Jay DCA'd to 10 million Dogecoin. Now, you're in a different financial position than Jay. But whatever you can grab, again, not financial advice, but whatever you can grab when you can grab it, based on those charts and the 4-year cycles, God, Doge is not going to be 15 cents a year from now. It's not. Huzaifa from Pakistan. How long you think we should hold? Again, those are discussions we're going to be having more toward the end of the summer into the fall. We'll be talking about that because it's too early now. Don't be selling now. Well, I can't tell you what to do. I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm holding right now. Holding. As Ryan says, any bag is a good bag if that is what you can do. Yep. And if it gets to $1, awesome. I'll love it. I'll love dollar Doge. Bring it on. And yes, we've done moves like that with Doge plenty of times before. And it can definitely happen again. Weiju, how are you? You're back. Good to see you. David, in the house. Yo, what's up? What is up? Way's got 280,000 Doge. Yep. Hey, if Doge goes up to $1, where does it go from there? Now, the 20, 40, and 100 numbers are way out there in the future. Too early to be talking about those. Is McDonald's going to accept Dogecoin even to get all of the marketing out of Elon actually eating a Happy Meal on live TV? I don't see that happening. McDonald's doesn't get it. They don't get it. Maybe. Yeely also reminding everyone, hit the likes. Appreciate it. Pure ASFX says, I hope Doge is the right play. Well, it's a play. Again, myself, I don't have everything in Doge. I showed you guys my portfolio. I got 25 cryptos. One of them was Hedera. Hedera goes on a big run yesterday. I'm like, woohoo, I've got Hedera. Algorand goes on a big run early this morning. Whoo, I've got that. Bonk is running. I've got Bonk, right? So you feel good about yourself. You get spread it out a bit, just like you do with stocks. If you're in the stock market, you don't just buy one stock, right? You get stocks in different areas. So in crypto, right, it's good to have some Bitcoin, right? You got some Doge, maybe a couple other memes like I do. I've got some Sheeb and some Bonk. Got some blockchain projects, got some layer 2s. Got some Jasmy, just because who knows what's going to happen. The Bitcoin of Japan, right? It can go on a crazy run again, which I'm already up like 400% on my Jasmy that I bought. But I'm not selling yet. I'm not selling yet. Not time to sell yet. So yeah, that's what we're waiting for. But too early to talk about selling. Now is the time to accumulate. And we got choppiness, right? Did we just look at that? Look at that, right? Chop. So we're in the chop zone. What are you doing during the chop zone? You're buying the dips. You're buying the dips in the chop zone because eventually it's going to be up only. Is it going to be a 2017 crazy up only? Or is it going to be more like a 2021 up only, which is not quite as parabolic? We'll see. But it's all set up. It's all set up. Accumulation, first leg up, chop, and then up only. So it's time for some chop. And even before seeing this chart, which Mags just made, what did I talk about on Monday night? The whole psychology of a market. Where are we now? We're in chop. That's what I said. It's chop. And here we are. It's chop. It's what we've got. So Bitcoin versus Dogecoin. Here we go. Bitcoin is expensive. It's not funny. And it doesn't get the ladies unless you're looking for ladies who are just looking to hitch on to somebody who's got a lot of money. Dogecoin. It's less than the price of a McChicken. It's literally a meme. And the ladies love the Doges. So this was from Reddit. Just a fun little thing. Bitcoin versus Dogecoin. But really, what is this about Dogecoin and Bitcoin, right? So they're both proof of work cryptocurrencies. They both have their own blockchain. They both have mining. They both, you can use wallets to store your cryptocurrency, and they're both volatile. Bitcoin is volatile. Dogecoin, a little more volatile, but they're both volatile. So we start with that, right? We've got cryptography, mining, volatility, blockchain wallets. So we're good with that. Differences, market cap. Bitcoin's got a bigger market cap, no doubt, right? It was the first one. It's the big daddy of crypto. Dogecoin's market cap has been pretty high back in 2021, and it's coming back. Supply. Bitcoin is capped, limited supply. Dogecoin, well, of course, there's a lot more Dogecoin out there, so the price is much lower, right? And Dogecoin is going to continue to crank out new Dogecoin as rewards to the miners. We don't know what's going to happen 100 years from now when the mining of Bitcoin is almost done and there's not a lot of Bitcoin left. And eventually it goes to zero and there's no more Bitcoin left. Then it's just fees. And that's all the miners are going to be getting are fees. But Dogecoin is going to be cranking out 10,000 new Doge, right? 10,000 new Doge. The miners eventually are all going to be switching over to Dogecoin because it's going to be more profitable to mine Dogecoin than Bitcoin. That's what I think is going to happen. Transaction speed. Another significant difference between Bitcoin and Dogecoin. Bitcoin transactions can take up to 10 minutes to confirm. 10 minutes. Dogecoin transactions are confirmed within a minute. This difference in transaction speed makes Dogecoin a more practical option for small transactions, which makes it perfect on something like X, or even just for like the Shopify stuff and just buying things. The community surrounding each crypto is different. Bitcoin has a large established community. Doge, also large, established, but more lighthearted and meme inspired because we like dogs and memes, right? Are we Dogecoin maxis? I imagine there's a few. Are there Bitcoin maxis? Yeah, there's a lot of them. We don't care. That's okay. The Dogecoin community has been known to come together for charitable causes, such as raising funds for clean water projects in developing countries. That's what we do with Doge. And we don't mind giving it out. The tipping culture is there with Doge right from the start. So we've got community, transaction speed, market cap, supply. But what about this meme part of Doge? Despite its origins as a joke, Dogecoin has seen a surge in popularity. In fact, in early May 2021, Dogecoin's market cap reached an all-time high of over $90 billion. Many attribute this to rise in popularity to the support of high-profile figures such as Elon Musk, tweeted about Doge numerous times. However, some argue Dogecoin's rise is indicative of a larger trend in the cryptocurrency market, the rise of meme coins. So meme coins can be all kinds of different things, right? You can have real positive ones, and there can be a whole negative side of memes. Because Doge, right, is a meme, but then you've got the things like SafeMoon, right? Well, I guess they were not really a meme, but they were trying to be something. But then every day there's thousands of new meme tokens that are made, and finding the next one that's going to hit it big is like finding a needle in a haystack, as I've said. You don't know which is going to go, which are going to make it. So but here we're just talking about Bitcoin versus Dogecoin. If you want to take a small percentage of your portfolio and go chase after some meme tokens, you can do that. Again, small portion. Don't throw it all in on cat with bag, because cat with bag is most likely not going to be one that's going to skyrocket. If you get in at the beginning and sell on the first, run, take your profit, book it, and get out of it. That would be what I would do if I was going after cat with bag. Operculum just sold all your Doge and bought cat with bag. That's right, cat with bag. That's going to be the next big one, right? Cat with bag. Who knows? Dogecoin is not going to have the volatility of those new meme tokens. Doge is a top 10 cryptocurrency. It's not going anywhere. Is it more volatile than Bitcoin? Yes. Bitcoin drops on, scary news like Iran, sending 300 missiles towards Israel. Dogecoin drops harder. And when Bitcoin goes on runs, when like all the ETF buying and things like that, Doge does not go as high. But when Doge goes on a run on its own, because of something specifically tied to Doge, it outperforms everything else and it goes. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. So Bitcoin was the original cryptocurrency. And now it's at that point where institutions are buying in. You got the ETFs. You've got countries buying Bitcoin. They're not buying Doge. They're buying Bitcoin. So you've got that on the Bitcoin side of it. What's more profitable? Market cap. Bitcoin has a higher market cap, but what would be more profitable from here going forward? Which has the opportunity to make more money from this point going forward? I think Doge has more room to run than Bitcoin. We've seen in previous cycles, Bitcoin's percentage of gains has gotten smaller and smaller. We don't know what's going to happen with Doge. The potential is huge for Doge. Bitcoin's not going to do anything else. We already know what Bitcoin is. It's a store of value, right? But Doge, right now, Doge is still hope. Yeah, you can tip with it and things like that, but actually using it as a major currency on a major platform like X or Tesla to buy a car with Doge. I mean, Bitcoin, you used to be able to, and they stopped it. Maybe they'll start it again with Bitcoin. Who knows? But Elon, since then, you heard what he said about transactions. It's Doge for transactions. Mining difficulty. Bitcoin has a higher mining difficulty than Doge. Requires more computational power, more energy to mine. The rewards for mining Bitcoin are higher, but there's a lot more competition there. Dogecoin has lower mining difficulty, requires less energy to mine, making it more accessible to the average person. So if you wanted to get into mining, you can mine Doge and you can get Doge rewards. If you start trying to mine Bitcoin on your own, the chance of you actually getting a Bitcoin reward, pretty slim. Every once in a while, someone does it. But you can go into mining pools, then you can just join a pool, which is what a lot of people do. But you're not going to make good money doing that. I think over time, like I said earlier, mining Dogecoin is going to become much more profitable. Particularly if it starts being used on X. You're going to see a lot of mining happening on Doge. Block rewards. Again, that's the difference of there's the halving. Dogecoin or Bitcoin's going to continue to be halved, but new blocks are always going to be created for Doge. That's not going to change. Transaction fees. Bitcoin has higher transaction fees than Dogecoin. Means it costs more to send Bitcoin. This can be a significant factor when deciding which currency to mine. You can be more profitable in mining with Bitcoin on that end too, because you're getting those transaction fees, particularly couple of weeks ago with the halving. That was huge. But at the same time, the transaction fees are better to be smaller to actually use the cryptocurrency like Dogecoin. It costs next to nothing to spend your Doge. It costs a lot to spend your Bitcoin. What's the future potential? Like I said, I think Doge has this big chance of price increase that can happen going forward. So Dogecoin versus Bitcoin. Transaction speed, we've talked about. Transaction fees, Dogecoin, incredibly low transaction fees. In contrast, Bitcoin transaction fees can be quite high, especially during periods of high demand, which again, we just saw at the halving. It cost a lot of money to move small bits of Bitcoin right around the halving time. That was crazy. Network congestion. Get all of this stuff that's being built on top of Bitcoin with ordinals and stuff, congesting the network, slowing things down. Bitcoin has struggled with this issue in the past. So while both Doge and Bitcoin can be used for a variety of purposes, Dogecoin is often used for smaller transactions, such as tipping content creators online. What are people doing with Bitcoin? They're not using it for small transactions. No, they're holding it. They're trading it. You got a lot of traders with Bitcoin. There's a lot of trading with whales and Doge as well, but more with Bitcoin. But it's a store of value. They're just holding on to it, hoping the price goes up. Overall, Dogecoin is a better option for those looking for fast and inexpensive transactions, which is why I say the Bitcoin white paper that Satoshi wrote now sounds more like Dogecoin than Bitcoin, because it was all about e-cash. It was all about digital transactions, getting away from the banks. And now what do we got? We got banks actually buying Bitcoin. And what did I say earlier? I hate the banks, right? I hate the banks. And they're buying into Bitcoin, but they're not buying Doge. This is where we are right now, guys. This is where we are. So, Bitcoin's future. Bitcoin has had a volatile past, has always managed to bounce back. Bitcoin is here to stay. Its value will only continue to increase. Dogecoin has had a different story, initially created as a joke, but Doge has surprised everyone with its recent surge in value. Experts are divided on its future. Some believe Dogecoin's popularity will continue to grow. It'll be driven by social media, hype, celebrity endorsements, but also the wild card now is actually being used in a major way as a currency. Others are more skeptical, stating that its value is purely speculative and lacks any real world use case. And Elon, the role of Elon Musk right here, Elon can take care of that. Elon has been a significant player in the cryptocurrency world. His tweets often impacting the price of Bitcoin and Doge. But what's going to happen from here? And again, the beginning of this live stream, if you guys didn't hear it, when this is over, just watch the first couple minutes. What did Elon say? Bitcoin, store of value, Dogecoin, transactions. You decide what you think that means from here. I've already told you what I think. And I've got a lot more Dogecoin, dollar-wise, invested into Dogecoin than Bitcoin, because I think I'm going to have a much greater return on my investment with Doge. And plus, I'm going to use it. I'm also going to use it. because of that buying power I've talked about before. How much more you can actually buy with Dogecoin. You buy Dogecoin at 15 cents and Dogecoin goes up to $1.50. Well, you've got 10 times the buying power then. Now, what else about Bitcoin? Pent-up Bitcoin demand could come from Morgan Stanley and other institutions. This is what's driving Bitcoin now. And this goes completely against what Satoshi Nakamoto created Bitcoin for. But this is where we are now. It's 15 years later. This is what we got. So crypto investor Brian Kelly thinks Bitcoin has hit a bullish intersection of rising demand and reduced supply. In a new interview, CNBC's Fast Money, Kelly says he sees bigger brokerage firms jumping into Bitcoin and will have a bigger impact than the recent BTC halving. Morgan Stanley, UBS, once they're online and they can have their customers start to come into Bitcoin, that's a lot of pent-up demand. Because they know that they can make money off of Bitcoin just by the transaction fees, not only in ETFs, but also through their brokerages, through their financial advisor fees and all of that. If you think about it, you now have an asset with the most demand it's ever going to have. You've got all these people just able to come on. Supply has been cut. Coins on exchanges are down. So you're having a whole bunch of pent up and potential demand hitting lower supply. To me, that's a bullish setup for Bitcoin. So that is the narrative behind Bitcoin and why most believe Bitcoin is going to go on this epic run, this bull cycle. Is all of this is coming together. The Bitcoin halving with all of these institutions now realizing this is an opportunity to make money. And not only that, but you also have the boomer cash coming into the crypto space. That's right. We have a pretty significant demand shift. It hasn't fully played out. I believe in the next 12 months, we're a couple of months into the ETFs now. We've got about 10% of what I believe is coming into the space from the registered investment advisors who control all the boomers' cash. So the boomers, well, I guess I'm a boomer, right? But I don't have a bunch of money sitting in a bank and I don't have a financial advisor telling me what to do. I've already bought in myself. But there's a lot of really rich boomers out there who just like to sit back and call up their broker and say, get me some of that Bitcoin. And up to January, the BlackRocks and the Fidelities, you couldn't do that. You can do that now, but there's still a lot more of cash sitting in these other institutions that don't have direct access to Bitcoin yet. That is coming. The boomers have about $30 trillion with these financial advisors. So 300 billion, that's about 1% of that $30 trillion he thinks is going to come into the crypto space. That's actually more money than has ever been converted to Bitcoin in 15 years. This is what he's talking about coming into crypto, this bull run. That's what we've got coming forward. What does that mean between Bitcoin and Doge? Well, Bitcoin is going to run. It is the big daddy, the largest crypto. It's going to drive the bull run, no doubt. Most cryptos are going to follow along with Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin goes up, Bitcoin goes down. All the other cryptos follow for the most part. We've seen that. I mean, even today, right? The same thing's happening, right? Move up, last 2 days, red. Doge, last 2 days, red, about the same. But then you've got your outliers like Algorand, right? Having a great day today. Hedera yesterday, that big run yesterday that Hedera had. One of these big God candles, though, these big green candles, that's going to be Doge. And when Doge does it, the FOMO kicks in. Look out. Look out. Because that's what could be coming. So that's what I got. I've got a lot more invested into Doge than I do Bitcoin. And I'm already up big time on my Doge. Even though I even bought some right back here on October or April 2nd or 3rd, right here. 17.5 cents. I bought some Doge there on that dip because Doge had come up to 22 cents. It dipped down to 17.5, and I'm like, I was charting this and I was like, well, that's a good price. So I bought some. A little bit down on that purchase. Doesn't bother me though. Doesn't bother me because the bigger picture is this big run that's coming. And now I've got more Doge, more in the game. That's what we've got coming, guys. And I know it's hard to sit here on a red day, down 4%. But we lived through this. This is the choppiness. Accumulate more, buy on the dips, DCA, whatever you're doing, whatever your strategy is. Because the next leg up, it's going to be big. It's going to be big. So Toss can't wait for your gold check mark. Nate says, I'm hoping my gold check mark comes when Doge passes $1. Fate loves irony. Exactly. Exactly. Those will come. That'd be good timing. Do you think Doge is a good long-term investment, 6 to 10 years? Right now, I'm looking at this next 12 months as being epic. What happens after that is gravy. If Doge is actually being used, right, and it's like integrated onto X, then it's only going to keep growing. It's just going to keep growing. That's what I think. Is Doge going to dip back to 8 cents? I don't think so. I don't think so, Dian. That would be Bitcoin dropping down to like 32,000, like half the price. It would probably have to take for Doge to drop down to 8 cents. And the market just isn't showing a huge dip like that, 50% drop. This isn't bear market. We're in early bull. We've got the first leg up. We're in the choppy season now. So no, I don't see that. Hedera pumped low roller and then dumped. They lost about half of its gains because the story wasn't completely true, what was said yesterday. BlackRock did not build some money market thing on Hedera. No, it was Hedera and a couple other companies that I don't know whether they manufactured something where they proved that it could be built on Hedera, which shows a use case for Hedera, but it wasn't an actual thing that BlackRock did. So the headline yesterday was BlackRock built this thing on Hedera. Today, the headline is, there was a little misinterpretation there of what that actually was. And so there was a big sell-off. And so that's why you had Huge green candle yesterday, and then a big red retracement today. Two different stories. It was fun, though, yesterday, watching Hedera just go, go, go. That was a lot of fun. And Tesla stock had just gotten hammered the past couple weeks. Actually, this year, all this year, Tesla stock has been down. So I think Elon, during the earnings call, finally came through and said some really good things that investors liked. So, I mean, Tesla stock, the price still has a lot of ways to go to recover from where it was. I mean, it was up over $240, went all the way down to 150, 140. That was a pretty big drop. 10-cent Doge, you think, Dennis? We'll see. AJ says, no true Doge fan will sell until after $1. Well, again, I just say what happened back in 2021. That's what everybody thought. And we all held diamond hands all the way up to 74 cents till Barry Silbert and his buddies just started shorting the hell out of it. And we held all the way through it, didn't take profits. Some people did, but the majority of us were thinking just like that. And I'm not going to do that again. But again, that's to talk about another day. Financial freedom. Keep calm and hodl Doge. I talk a lot about wealth building. I talk a lot about financial freedom. I talk a lot about how you can maybe take that next step up in financial levels. And it does take risk, yes. I mean, just buying cryptocurrency, whichever one it is risky, even Bitcoin. But what is truly going to make a difference financially in your life? And it's not swing trading crypto. Swing trading crypto is not going to give you financial freedom. It's buying low, low, low and selling high, high, high. That's what it takes. And I've been talking about that for 1.5 years. Now we're at a point where we've already gone through the first leg up. We're in this choppy season. So now you're scraping where you can. You're DCAing, buying on the dips where you can for the real big parabolic run. That's where we are now. Dennis, if you want to sell at 25 cents, you're booking a profit. That's great. In my opinion, that's short-term thinking. And is it really going to make a financial difference in your life to sell at 25 cents? I'm betting on higher. Yeah, Ryan, Doge gets the ladies. Mars has his Doge shirt on today. Yeah, low roller. George said 1 Bitcoin costs $52,000 to produce. Yep. The average cost to the miners. So the miners have to write, they got to pay for their building, they got to pay for their rigs, they got to pay their energy costs. And you lump them all together and you average it out. If Bitcoin's price went to $52,000, it would be a break-even proposition for all Bitcoin mining, averaged all together. So with Bitcoin price now at 64,000, the miners aren't making a lot of money. They're making some, at least they're profitable because it's more than 52, but not by a lot. They want Bitcoin to go up in price so they can start making big money. So they're going to do what they can to help the price go up now that the halving is done. So no, I don't think the Bitcoin price is going to collapse. I think Bitcoin price is going to go up. The miners want it to go up. The whales want it to go up. The institutions want it to go up, especially BlackRock and Fidelity. They're making all their fees right off those ETFs. They want the price to go up because they want more people coming in and buying their ETF so they can make money. Everybody wants the price to go up now. There's some shorters who are still shorting, think it's going to go down, but there's a lot of shorters are going to get wrecked. As soon as Bitcoin comes back up here to the 72,000 mark, there's a whole bunch of shorts that are just going to get liquidated, and the exchanges are going to want to wipe them out. So they're going to want to help the Bitcoin price get back up into the 70s to wipe out those shorts, to liquidate them. So it's all set up. It's just going to be choppiness, and it's going to take some time for that to happen. If Bitcoin went down to 52,000, would the network crash? No, I don't think so. It'll just take that much more effort and that much more work to get the price back up. Speed Racer says, I bought originally at 4 cents, rode up to SNL, sold after you bank $90,000, rebought in the 50s, DCA to 26 cents. Definitely not holding through another crypto winter. Me too. I am not going to be holding all crypto through 2026. I'm not doing it. Again, a believer in the 4-year cycles. 2026 is most likely going to be a bear market. I'm not holding. I'm not holding. So the next catalyst, Christian, we're talking about, particularly for Dogecoin, is what's going to happen with payments, X payments. What's going to happen with Tesla? Elon said he's considering Dogecoin for cars. There's all the different clues, all the different things I've been putting together on why Doge on X payments can actually happen. That'll be huge. Overall crypto, those are those things about Bitcoin I was just telling you about. And then we've got a lot of blockchain technology that's going to continue to grow, continue to be used. Web3, gaming, all of that stuff is just going to just continue to grow and get bigger and bigger, particularly gaming. The more gaming starts to get out of just point and shoot, right, and more into actual tokenization, all of that. When that takes off, it's going to be huge. So it's all good. Perculum asks, any chance we are in a false bull run and the next bull cycle doesn't start till 2028? That's not what the charts show. It's never been a false bull run before. So I'm holding and waiting for this bull run, 2024 into 2025, because that's what's happened every other cycle. So I'm continuing to believe that, and I'm not changing my mind on that. Subway footlong needs this bull run. Yeah, Ryan, I consider myself a boomer. Yep. Yeah. Mr. Cheyenne's still here. Ion's here. TP. Only a matter of time. I probably answered this 100 times, David. What happened to Doge? Whales cashing out? This is just trading. It's just trading. This is small movements. This is nothing. It's just trading. You got a bunch of traders. A lot of these are bot traders. Price goes up, they sell. Price goes down, they buy. Most of this is bot trading that's going on. So, nope, Nothing different. Again, I'm zoomed out, right? Purposely on the daily, just to show you that almost 2 weeks now. This is a week and a half since that, Iran-Israel thing freaked out the markets and the markets dropped. That's what that was. That was fear selling a week and a half ago. That's all that was. World War III. Ah! No. No World War III, guys. Sideways, a little bit up since then. That's what we've been. That's not bad. Gene is asking the percent capital gains tax. So there is this proposal or something the Biden White House is putting together. It's not really in the mainstream media yet. I've just seen it on 1 or 2 obscure kind of channels. Number of people talking about it on X because of that. Most likely not going to get approved. If you go back in history, Jimmy Carter was a president in the late 1970s. He proposed a similar thing. And then he went up against Ronald Reagan in the 1980 presidential election, and he got wiped out, completely wiped out. This election coming up here is setting up to be exactly the same. Biden's going to get completely wiped out. And whether you're a Trump lover or a Trump hater, it's not going to matter. Trump's going to win. I mean, that's what it's setting up for. I think overall that's going to be good for crypto, and Trump isn't going to do this. He's not going to allow this big capital gains tax proposal thing to go through. No. So I don't think it's going to happen. Nor do I want it to happen, because I'm planning on selling a lot of crypto in 2025 and making a lot of money. And I don't want to be paying more in taxes than I have to. Hey, Ramses, going by previous halvings, can you assume when the high might be this bull run? Some people have charted different days, like how many days after a halving until the peak, and it's kind of varied. But most are saying, mid 2025. I'm kind of pulling that forward into earlier 2025 than late 2025. It's the way I'm looking at it, because summers traditionally are just not great trading times. So I'm thinking by May 2025, most likely is when I'm out and I'll have sold just about everything. That's the schedule I'm planning on. We'll see how things go through the rest of 2024. Sometimes alts are a bit delayed behind Bitcoin in their big runs. We'll see how that plays out. SP Narwhal, how are you? Any idea how or if that whole situation with the Doge image being purchased? Nope. I don't think so. That Doge, you can't really trademark that. So purchasing the original Doge image, I'm not sure what that really gets them, because it's not a trademarked image. And so, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to continue to use it. I use it every day, many times a day, and I'll just continue to do that. If they want to come after me, sure, whatever. But it's not going to happen. And that goes against the whole thing Doge is about, in my opinion. Now, the original image, right? Maybe there's something about that one particular image, but everything else Doge related, not worried. Thanks, Jay. Had a great holiday. It was a great week down in Florida. Come back up to Boston and it's like 30 degrees cooler here, from the 80s to the 50s. So I'm actually a little cold. When normally this is normal springtime weather here in Boston is in the 50s, normal temperature, and I'm cold. But it was nice to like just chill on the beach and relax, have some nice meals, some nice drinks. Had time to think about stuff, which is why I came back and made all those screw the banks kind of videos. Financial freedom, all of that. Is 15.4 a good price? Well, 15.2 is even better. That's what it is now. We can zoom in a little closer. This is where we are right now. So yeah, this kind of sell-off this morning that we had. I mean, here was Bitcoin's. Nothing particularly newsworthy related to that. Why that sold off like that, I don't know. But yeah, good price. You want to put in a limit order for a little bit lower, you might hit it. I already spent all my April money at 17.5 cents. I wish I would have saved it for 15.2 cents because that's better than what I paid for my last bit of Doge. I'm on a monthly buying pattern now. Tough to pick the right time. And Doge was at 22 cents at the end of March. So I thought that dipped down to 17.5 cents. That was pretty good. Because I thought we were going to see actual much more rise in the price going up into the Bitcoin halving, not knowing that Iran was going to send 300 missiles at Israel and freak everyone out about World War III. But those things happen too, and you just got to ride with it. That's going to happen. News cycles, news events are going to happen. And crypto usually gets hit harder than trading and anything else. So that happens as well. All right, gang, that's what we've got today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give a like, subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to see what Elon says about the difference between Bitcoin and Dogecoin, when the stream is over, just rewatch the first couple minutes again. Because that's the video. And when Elon says things, he doesn't forget them, which is why I think something great is coming for Dogecoin. Hope you all are well. We'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.